Hair is
evolving.
hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like one of the biggest things for me, and I tell this to people all the time, was learning how to not take it personal, because everyone has a different aesthetic and everyone's eye sees things differently, even like down to, it's like a science thing. Like everyone's eye picks up tones differently and all of that. And so you can't make everyone happy, and that's really hard in the beginning to have someone be like, I don't like it, or just not into it, or they don't like you or whatever, and just being able to like not take it home and internalize it and feel like you can't do hair or let it discourage you or put a damper on things.
Everything could be fixed.
I think it helps you grow, though,
For sure.
You either let those things bother you to the point where maybe, hair's not your thing anymore, which is totally fine. Some people, that's how they find out they don't want to do hair anymore, or maybe it's not for them. But I do think that it makes you a stronger hairdresser, and I think that it makes you a stronger person.
For sure.
Because you learn to accept the things that you can't change about other people, or the things that you can't change maybe about the product that you're using or anything like that. And I just think that it makes you stronger. So
I think that whole process too, which is totally miserable, and it's keeps you up at night and makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm done, I'm going back to school, what am I going to do, this is terrible, I'm so bad at doing hair, when somebody's unhappy, or you guys were just not on the same level, or you just weren't happy with your work. But I feel like in the long run it helps you fine tune your clientele, which is nice, because those people, sometimes you're never going to make that person happy, or there's not a single thing in the entire world that you have in common with this person, and you're just struggling the entire time, but there's someone else out there for them, and there's more clients out there for you. So I guess that's the light at the end of the struggle. But I totally agree. I think especially as artists, it's so impossible to not take it personally when someone else doesn't like it or get it.
Yeah, and I'd rather have my clients tell me at this point, and like instead of also just being like, oh my god, I love it, and they're like thinking what just happened on my head. Even if like you're like, I think it's beautiful or whatever, like just like the honesty of it. And also what I learned the hard way was like not to promise that just because someone wants something, and then to be like, yeah, I'll make it happen. You think that you're gonna like get this life-changing experience, and then it doesn't happen, and then you're like, this is weird and awkward.
You're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, but I learned that the hard way.
Underpromise, overdeliver.
Yes.
Yeah. It's number one rule of hairdressing.
Yeah.
Behind the chair is that.
Yeah, that took a while for me to learn, and because I think I just was like, didn't know. I thought I was going to be like rude to someone if I told them I couldn't do something, or they would think that I wasn't able to do it. And sometimes it's like, well, number one, I may not be able to do it just because it's this like chemistry sometimes, and or I might fire your hair off, and I don't think you want that. Like, and seriously. I want everyone to be happy, because you do want to make everyone happy. I think that's just in anyone. I think you're just a normal human being in that case. Like, totally. You want to please people.
I think the power of referral is a really strong thing in the industry. Like, you have a friend that does hair too. So if you can tell, or maybe your client's unhappy, or maybe someone that's better at something than you, I mean, you can refer them, be like, my best friend loves to do balayage, so you would love her, you should go to her,
And clients appreciate that.
And they appreciate that.
So
they
much.
do. They think that that's mature of you to, refer them to somebody who can do it better. Because you know what you like to do, and you know what you can do.
You're putting their best interests first. Instead of being like, I want your money, I'm going to do it. Even though I know that Caitlin would do a way better job of it. Yeah. I've referred clients to other stylists in my salon. I think that loops back to the teamwork aspect, As long as you're in our house and one of my girls is taking care of you, we're good to go.
Yeah, that all comes down to, like, your coworkers matter. Or even just being able to, like, ask your coworkers. Sometimes you have to go in the back and be like, say something out loud and be like, yeah, that sounds good, right? Or someone can give you like a suggestion, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I've always thought it was weird to work in a salon that would, like, you can't look at, like, it's frowned upon to ask a question. Like,
collaborate.
Yeah, like, my coworkers, I think, are better than me, so they probably have an answer, like, and like, I'm confident, but
they want to work with people who are better than you.
I don't, for sure.
Yeah.
The statistic of people not being in the industry for long is there for a reason, because it's a really hard thing.
If you stick it out, it's well worth it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of glamour. Like, surrounding the hair industry. You know, obviously for good reason. You know, it is glamorous a lot of the time, but there is a lot of not glamorous things that comes before the glamour, like you were saying. And when you fight it out and you actually get to the point where you can start to coast and relax, you know, especially behind the chair, or when you like find people that you really love to work with, then it is worth it. It is glamorous. You know, you get to do the things you want to do and be around the people you want to be around, and be flexible, and you know, that it's well worth it.
No, I think sometimes I look back on, like, you know, how I got here, and I'm like, whoa, life almost seems a little too easy and, like, fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, even just being here, you know, like, even coming, I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be, like, I'm so nervous, I don't know, and then it's like, you get here, and then it's like, oh, that was so much fun. Do you want me to do more? I can do more, but, like, it's just because it's what we do every day, and we have this knowledge that we forget we have. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it seems easy to me, but it's not to everyone, you know?
Yeah.
I think a struggle that I had aside from that was also, since we have these extreme intimate connections with our clients, and you care a lot about these people, and there's something to be said about the trust and the intimacy of being able to touch them, make them feel beautiful or not beautiful, and, like, we're the only people, like, licensed to touch people aside from, like, doctors and acupuncturists and massage therapists. So taking on that, and also not taking the dumping that the clients give you of all their emotional things and the things that are going on in their lives, I let that destroy me at the beginning. And just, it's caring, but, you know, when your client sits down and they dump all their emotional baggage on you, just letting it, caring and listening. I'm also not a good listener, so that's hard, but caring and listening was, you know, but leaving it at the salon, that was hard. But it really does, you know, make you a lot more professional, improve being shy, or improve being a listener or an interrupter, you know. So
kind of like just playing off what everyone else has said, but it's not like one big moment that sticks out from the rest. I feel like my hairdressing career has been a series of small wins that have just kind of built up on each other. Like, I can think of different moments that I've had with clients that have cried in my chair because they've been so happy, or different moments that I've had in the back room with my coworkers where we've really made some headway on a problem that we've been having, or we feel like we really like killed it on something that we were nervous about together, or I don't know. And I think a theme for me, like, through this conversation is I really value the relationships that I've made. Like, a lot of my coworkers have become almost like my family. Like, you spend a lot of time at the salon. Like, I feel like that's another aspect of hairdressing people don't really realize, is that we pull like 10, 12-hour days on a regular. Like, that's just part of it. So, like, these girls are like my sisters, you know? And that's not something that I take very lightly.
Talking about support, is your owner and your coworkers are what matter most. We have a very good owner. Very good. Like, I wouldn't change her for anyone in the world. And she treats our salon, everyone in the salon, great. We're actually a commission and booth rent salon, and it's just run great. And management and your coworkers are what matter most.
I mean, even though we're in a salon that is booth rent and is commission, there's no shame in asking somebody, because somebody's really good at balayage, somebody will be really great at a technical haircut, like, hey, can you come over and show me, or is there something like a tip that you can have, what's your favorite rose gold, you know? Having a huge support system so nobody's ego is too big to not help, or also not ask for help.
Yeah, and we have people all over the board at our salon, which I think is great. It's not like all just, you know, same thing over and over, and it keeps you again more creative, which then in fact, you know, just plays off everything else. Like, you get an idea that you never would have thought of before, and sometimes you can incorporate, you know, like that cutting technique maybe into long hair or, you know, I don't know, whatever, you know, it's good.
There are some things that I couldn't do without sitting there in a color closet, like messaging somebody from the salon, being like, I don't know what I'm doing. I know you've done this before, like, please help me. And just having that feedback from people, or, you know, them teaching you and you guys growing together, because like I've said, you're always growing. So them teaching you, it helps them too, you know, that it's a two-way street. If you can explain something, you can do it. So I think that that's really important. Definitely the people that you work with, and then you were talking about also the people that you work for.
With our clients, honestly, I have a tremendous amount of support from my clients. Like, when they see that I'm active and they see, or I have people call me out, like, you haven't taken a picture of my hair in a while. You know, like, you need to post that on social media. Or people like, no, I think you should go on this trip. Stop, like, pull the trigger, go on the trip. Or, you know, even when things happen in our lives, clients that we do get really close with, they can almost be our support from the chair. I mean, and we have doctors in the salon who are rushing to assistance aides if they have like something happen to their hands. And, you know, it's once you have this extreme community surrounding you, you really, it breeds love, and, you know, support breeds support, and clients want to be there. And we have like a holiday video every year of all of our staff, and our clients end up in it too, and they're at our Christmas parties. I mean,
a lot of our clients, I mean, you walk in and everyone's like, hey, how are you? And they're probably almost overwhelmed because like there's so many people to say hi to because everyone's friends with them, even though they see like one specific person, or, you know, occasionally if they have to go into someone else's chair, it's not the end of the world. But I mean, not saying I'm supporting them, but, you know, like,
if you're out of town,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Or if you
I know I trust, like, if I'm out of town and Mosey takes my client, that she's in good hands, and if Mosey needs to make a suggestion and change something, she can, and then maybe, you know, like, it should all be support.
If we were behind the chair, maybe having support from somebody who does like editorial styling or does more like education is just like really important, because then there are people like completing the facets that you maybe don't have all the way. It's people that support you to branch out. They support you to, you know, find other inspiration that's not maybe hair.
Just making sure that we're thinking about what's coming next and bringing things that are really fresh and new and cool to our clients, and being that kind of source of inspiration for them, and taking that like back out into their life. But I just think that that's one of the things that I really appreciate about this industry is like we get classes all the time. Education is huge at our salon. We have class every week, and we have people from all over the country that come in and teach to us from all different backgrounds, and I think that really adds to the culture as a whole.
Yeah, hair wasn't the same that it was 5 years ago. I mean, people's styles forever changing. Everyone has the photos that they look back and like, oh my God, who let me wear my hair like that? You know, eventually we're going to be that right now. So, you know, like, styles forever changing, hair's forever changing, and the support of education really makes that smooth.